y'all. Okay, so usually on our team calls on Thursday, usually they're on Thursdays at noon because normally my kiddos are in school, right? And so of course the summertime puts a kink in everything. But I'm committed to y'all and making it work and figuring it out. And so normally they nap at 2, so that's kind of why that time changed. But I'm also committed to bringing you y'all some just fresh faces too. And so team made, which is Melissa, our direct upline, who has the like gajillion coaches, and she's the one who hosts most of our groups for us.
Mhm.
She has team calls. So next week we will actually be hearing from the creator of Shakeology himself, Darren. So he will be on a call with us, and in Team Made she gave us the opportunity to ask questions. So if there are any specific questions y'all have about Shakeology, I can, if you'll let me know that if you didn't see that post, because I know there's a ton of groups, but if you do have a question, just let me know and I will tag you in that post that she made, and so you can actually go in there and type in your question that you have for him. So he's going to kind of cater the call. I mean, he's going to give us some general education, especially when there's new coaches like you guys, and she has new coaches weekly. So they want to provide just general education on Shakeology, and then just his perspective. And I think you guys are going to be, if you've not ever heard him talk about it, you're going to be floored at really truly how good it is, and the extreme that he goes to find, like, this dude is on a motorcycle in Peru and like and all over the world finding the ingredients for us. So it's just amazing to hear him talk about it. So we're going to have him as a guest, and then the following Thursday is kickoff of Summit, and so I will be going live and sharing takeaways and different things that's going on at Summit with y'all, but we won't have an official call that week. But what we will have is on Saturday, Ashley and Adrian. Ashley is my direct downline, and y'all seen her in some stuff. She's a diamond, 1-star diamond coach, so she is running her own group. She has her own team. She kind of does her own thing. So you're not going to see a whole lot of her because she's rallied her own stuff that's going on. But you will see her congratulating people. You will see her in our team page a little bit more. But the way, and Corey, you did meet Ashley at Super Sunday, but that's kind of where I know a lot of times it gets confusing of like, well, who's part of what and who's who. And but my two diamonds, well, and she's now 1-star, are Ashley and Crystal, and both of them kind of do their own thing. That's just the decision they made. So they don't run a lot of groups with me. We did do the 3-day refresh, and there are some new things that I wanted to talk about today that we are going to start doing. And it's kind of something that's trickled down from Melissa that I feel pretty passionate about as well, just to kind of help us, for anyone that's interested in doing anything with us, either it be a challenge group or coaching. So on Saturday, that would be June the 23rd, we are going to host a live What is Coaching from Indiana. So we're going to set up shop in our hotel room or somewhere. We don't know exactly where that'll be. Usually when we go on these types of trip things, we always do a little quick story about our coaching story, and then we want you guys to invite people to this. So what we'll probably do is I'm probably going to set up 2 cameras. One camera will be my own personal camera, and the other camera will be in our private What is Coaching group. So you always have a group that is open and ready with a video all the time. Anyone that you think would be really good at this, or anyone who is asking questions, or say you throw a post up on social media and you're like, okay, well, they looked at it. I don't know if they're interested. You can always say, hey, have this little Snoop group, this little SneakPeek group that you can take a look at, and there's always going to be a video uploaded into that group. So you can do that anytime. But on the 2nd and 3rd week of every single month, there's always going to be a formal What is Coaching. That may be Melissa doing that. That may be us going live somewhere. That may be in that private group. but you just need to know that there's always an opportunity. That's when all my posts are focused on coaching, is the last 2 weeks of the month. So then we will have one more team call the following week, which I believe is on the 29th. June 29th, we'll have another call. And that call, I will actually be doing a summit recap. So that's kind of a little idea of, as far as more opportunities to get on with the team and ask questions. And what I would like for y'all to do is, as things come up, if they aren't something that you like need answers to right then, just start making a little list on a little sticky note of things that you want me to discuss or want discussed, because I also like to grab other coaches from Team Aid and have them come in and talk with us too and give us their tips and pointers on different things that y'all need. Most everything I've been through, most everything I'm still going through with y'all. And so I can usually address just about anything, but sometimes I feel like, oh, maybe there's a fresh face that would help. So I'm definitely committed to doing that. You guys just have to let me know. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about just a newer thing that we're going to try to start doing. And actually, Melissa started this with the Lift 4 launch. And I know for new people, and even for myself, I get a little overwhelmed, and I already start having these worries because this program does not come out until October. So I'm thinking, are you like, I need to start thinking about it now? Like, I'm barely like, it's not like I'm having the masses come join me now. What do you mean, Melissa? But in all reality, the really cool thing is that when you get people excited now, they go ahead and sign up now, and they already have access to all the other programs. And along the way, you're just continuing to get them excited to the new program that's coming out. So if there's anyone that you think would be interested at all in Lift 4. So these are people like who do other workout programs. So like Corey, like for people doing Plant Gladiator a couple of days a week, and they just need another workout program to do that is super quick but high intense. For people who say they are having trouble getting to the gym more than a couple of times a week, this is a 4-day-a-week program. That's it. And he wants you to rest, and he also wants you to have treat days. And it's like on the schedule and in the plan. That's the way the program is designed. And so for anyone who's giving you any sort of objections, or they say, I just don't have time, or they are already involved in another fitness program of such, then this is a perfect program for them. So what we've already done, Ashley actually just created a launch page. So anyone that you think might be interested in it, all you're going to have to do is add them to our launch page. And it's just like the 3-day refresh group that we had, where we had 3 posts. It was super simple. So basically, you don't even have to do any work. All you're going to need to do is get their email address, and don't worry about sending them any emails. That will come. But you'll just get their email address, and then you're going to say, I'm putting you into our launch group just so you can take a look at the information and see if it's for you. The really cool thing about this is that launch group is going to continue. So it's going to go on and on until the program actually launches. So we can kind of keep their attention up. The other thing is, what I think I'm going to do is when I'm going to ask y'all's opinion because y'all are fairly new at this. Do you think that that would be helpful for people who are interested in just a challenge group?
Do we think the launch group would be?
Mm-hmm. Just if we did one that was, it was specifically for people who were interested in a challenge group.
I think it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking how I was and how uncertain I was and didn't know exactly what it was. The more info, I have people that ask a lot of questions and they want to know what they're getting and what that looks like. Mm-hmm. I think it's good.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I feel like the other really cool thing about these launch groups, I don't know how it's fairly new. This is a fairly new process even for Melissa. And I added y'all to that Lift 4 group just so you could look at it, so that we can just gather ideas together. And I just feel like you're exactly right. Like, I know for me, I grab an email and I send them this very detailed email, which if you're ready, you're going to read it and you're going to be fine with it and do it. But if you're not ready, number one, you're not going to look at my email. And number two, when you finally get ready, you're not going to be able to find the email that I sent you. And I just think about myself, like, I'm not an email person. But if I know an email's coming and I'm serious about it, then I will.
Well, I think people are more apt to like get on Facebook and scroll through and look at something because they're already on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind
It
of
could be
how
good. Do you know much about Lyft as far as like, because I'm really excited about it. I used to do a class at the gym that was similar to that, but do you have to have a lot of different weights, and is it with the bar?
No,
Do you know?
it's not with the bar, but also take a look in that launch group.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't looked yet, I'll be
Um,
honest.
Ashley, so what I did is I put you in the Melissa's launch group so that we can gather ideas of things we like. So if there's certain things that you're seeing in Melissa's group that you like and that makes sense to you, write it down, because we've already creating our own group and that's what he's instructing us to do. He's kind of teaching us how to create a launch group. So we're going to take this system from Lift 4 and we're going to duplicate it for every other thing that we would want to launch. So the 3-day refresh was basically our trial run and it was great, and we're going to keep that group open, and every time we have a holiday or we want to do it as a team, which in my opinion needs to be every other month. Even if we choose not to do it with our customers, we still need to promote it and encourage it along with our nutrition course as clockwork, like literally clockwork, and lead with the
Yeah.
3-day refresh. And then if they don't want to do that, then say, no problem, here, there's a free nutrition course, why don't you take a look at that, and then add them to the nutrition course whether they make a purchase or not. Because I feel like even if these people are purchasing 3-day refresh, that's still volume, that's still a little bit of income, like that's the whole point. And you're giving them a little bit of an insight to who we are, what we do, how we can help them. So I feel like this is a really, really great thing. And my plan will be in July to actually do the challenge group, basically sneak peek. I really like the term snoop group, so people can just kind of snoop and see what it's like. But we can be creative. I'm up for suggestions. If there's any, hi, hey there, little guy. Hi.
Keep going, we're listening. We have
So if you've seen on Facebook or in any other groups you've been in, I know Holly, you were in another organization before, but if there's any language that makes more sense to you for naming this group, we can really name it whatever we want. But what I'm thinking is that we will just do very simple posts in that group, just enough to give them the information that, like what you said, Holly, like I just wasn't really understanding what it involves, what it is. And so we can just kind of line that out really simply in a quick group, and you can add anyone to it at any time.
okay.
But I think, so that's where we're headed. So I will plan to roll that out next month. And then the other thing that I'm thinking I want to get completely solidified is in our Fit community page. I would like to have the units for new coaches new challengers getting started done I was hoping to get it done by the beginning of June. So that just means that in the units section of our Fit community, we're going to have videos like Holly, you already did yours, and now I just need to upload it to the units. I've already done one. I have 2 other people that are working on one for me. And so when you get a new challenger, all you will have to do is say, go to the units, and that's their getting started, basically. So you don't necessarily have to send them any emails. You don't really need to do anything. If they watch those videos in the units, then they should be pretty clear on exactly what they need to be doing, and also resources of finding other things. And if you ever notice any holes in any of that, when you guys are adding new people, if they're having consistent questions that you think maybe we haven't addressed, just let me know, and we can always add in another little video or change up that process. But I think it's going to simplify things for everyone, because if you're just adding people in and then everything's there for them all in one spot, they're not having to check email or check this place or that place. I think that's going to help a ton. And then just so y'all know, for our team page, my goal is to do the exact same thing for new coaches getting started. So my plan is to start units for all getting started coaches and do the same thing. And what my plan is to have links in there that send you to our back office training. So you don't have to go there. All you have to do is just go into the units and click there, and then it's all in one spot.
Love that.
So those are things that are coming.
Like how to simplify that and do that when I get more on. Right now I have the one, and she's, you know, doing her thing for right now, but I don't want to overwhelm her. So I like the idea of
And that was kind of, and that's my whole thought, like my whole idea and vision for all of this is that we're all just doing everything together, and we're simplifying it, and it makes it easier to invite people. It makes it easier to get people started, because it's just, everything is streamlined and nothing's different, so there's no confusion. I just feel like it's a really good idea. The only other thing that I was going to chat about really quickly, and I know my battery is kind of running low in my computer, so hopefully, and there's no plug really close, so I will keep this super, super quick, but I wanted to talk about inviting. I know, Holly, you had mentioned that something. So if you will let me know specifically where you seem to be getting stuck, or what really specifically you are thinking would be helpful, and then I'm going to show you a document that I'm going to upload into our page, our team page. So all you have to do is print that out, or you can save it onto your home screen, so that way when you run into any issues. But this document basically goes through options for inviting to anything and everything. So I'm going to show that to y'all after, but if you'll just let me know kind of where you're at on that.
Okay. You want me to tell you now?
Yes, go ahead.
I think what I struggle with is when someone, like, I do a post and someone likes, they like, and I've seen that they've liked something else. I don't know. I mean, I know I can like message them and like start a combo, but I just don't know what to say without being weird. That makes I don't want to say too much, but I don't want to say too little either. Not tell them about all the goodness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a struggle that we all have, because I'm even go through it too, where sometimes, like yesterday, I had one of my Facebook stories had about 60 views on it, which I was like, okay, that's more than I've had on a lot of them. Now, granted, when you have almost 5,000 friends, 60 is nothing. But so I was torn on, okay, do I say, like, thanks for watching my video, and then say, like, I'm excited for the summer, this is what I have going on. And I think it just depends on if you've recently had conversation with them. That's kind of where I will draw the line, because if you've had any sort of recent conversation with them at all, and when I say recent, I mean you've had an invitation out to them before, they are familiar with what you do, then you need to go ahead and say, I'm rallying the troops for the summer because it's the hardest time of the year. I don't know if you would be interested. I'm looking for accountability partners kind of thing. But if there's someone that you have not talked to before, or it's been a really long time, I would totally just say, thanks so much for checking out my video or giving me some love. How are you doing? Done.
Okay.
And just start the because I've noticed that I get a little like that. Like, I want to say, I want to make sure they know, but it makes it awkward for them too, because it's like, well, okay.
Then they like your stuff. That's like what I worry about. I don't want them to think I'm just like,
yeah,
like,
and
you know what I mean? Even though I want them to know, like, is what I can do to help you and that thing. But to be scared that I'm gonna message them, put pressure on them. They're not.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes I'll get, like, I had one lady yesterday or last week who said, she said, "Oh, your video just like was next up to play, so it was just playing on my thing, you know." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome! You watched 2 of them, so thank you." Because I'm like, you sat there and watched the whole thing and let it roll over to the second thing, so you were willing to watch. But you're right. Like, you don't want to send multiple messages to these people saying thanks for watching, because then do they not watch? But at the end of the day, we also cannot look at it that way at all, because I know what I'm doing is helpful and I know that they need it, whatever they say. I don't care what what's going on in their life. They need what we're doing, like, hands down. And so I just don't worry. I don't worry. If I send something that I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have sent it that way, then I'm like, okay, I'll just put their name down in a couple of weeks. I'll just do it again.